smartphone and tablet Wi-Fi compatible LED series from superbrightleds.com. We're going to go over just a few things about the new series from Super Bright LEDs. We have the variable color temperature light bulbs, which can be controlled with a remote. You have a master power on and power off button. But you can also control that with the down button and the up button. It also controls the color temperature. You can go cool white or warm white. Each of these bulbs is also controllable by using the multi-zone capabilities down at the bottom of the remote. You have zone 1 and zone 2. So zone 1 you can control individually. You can dim and brighten just as you could with the master, and also change to the cool white and the warm white. Go ahead and dim those down for the next one. A similar bulb that we have is the RGB plus white. It has a separate remote which also has the multi-zone function. This remote allows you to control each of the bulbs individually, or you can put them on the same zone. You can control the colors, brightness, and you can also change them to a pure white mode. Now right now we have one zone selected. There's also the option to control the master, so you can turn all of them off and all of them on, control the brightness for all of them, change all of them to blue or green, yellow or red or purple, cycle through the modes, control the speed, up and down, control brightness, and then go back to your individual zone controls. So we'll turn the zone 2 off. So now we're working with zone 1, and you can control each of those individually, so separate colors, dimming capabilities, modes, and back to that bright white mode. To get to the bright white mode on the RGB plus white, you can just select whatever zone you're on and hold down the on button. To get all of the bulbs back, just go ahead and hold down that master on button. Each of these bulbs are also compatible with the MyLight controller box, and you can control that through the MyLight app in the Android or iOS marketplace. Just going to go ahead and open that, and as you can see there are 6 user interfaces here. Each of these can control a different light. So we have the variable color temperature, which is here, which is very similar to the remote which we used earlier, and it has all the same controls. So you have your 4 zones, so it's the multi-zone controller, which you can control individually. So we can turn both of them off or on, or we can use the master, turn them both off or on. We can control the brightness. We can match those color temperatures, making them both cool, both warm. And then we can control each of them individually. So right now let's work with zone 1. So we're going to make that cool and dim it down again. Then we can turn that off and turn on zone 2. Again, we can make that cool or warm, dim or brighten, turn off, and then turn back on for both of them. This app also works with the RGB plus white, which is controlled through this screen. So again, you can have the master function, which turns them all off or all on. You can change the color, change the brightness, and control each zone individually. So unlike the remote, we can actually set this up a little bit differently. So on the remote, we had both the light bulb and the strips both on the same zone. Here we have each separately. So we have zone 3 is controlling the light strip. So turn that off. Zone 2 is this bulb here, and zone 1 is this bulb here. So with zone 1, you can again control the brightness, choose a color, and cycle through modes. Hold down that power on button and get the pure white mode. Switch to zone 2, control the colors, the brightness, go back to that pure white, or cycle through the color modes. And then with zone 3, we can control that light strip, which has the multi-color action, and then you have the different colors, the dim abilities, and again, holding down that power on button to cycle back to the bright white. And if you want to control all at the same time, go ahead and use that master on button. It'll take you back to the pure white at first, and then you can cycle through the colors, the brightness, and the modes again. The RF remote comes with the RGB plus white Wi-Fi compatible controller in the starter kit. With these products, you can choose between the Wi-Fi Con controller or the RF remote. You don't need both, you can choose between one or the other.
SuperBrightLEDs.com. LED lighting for everything.